How's it going, trainers? So I have an awesome surprise. My friends at Jazwares sent over the latest installments of the Enviromental packs. So this is considered Series 2, and there are 3 different sets to collect. So let's crack all 3 of these open. Alright, here they are in all of their glory. So again, there are 3 sets. We have a Snowy Glacier Environment Pack, we have a Rocky Desert, and a Wild Jungle. Each of these comes with the terrain that matches the environment, as well as 2 Pokemon figures, which are in the 2-inch class. It's also important to know that the Pokemon included are going to match the terrain and, kind of like what they would live in or where you would find them in the open world. The price for these is $14.99, and you can find them at Gamestop and Target stores. I will post all the links in the description below. On the side of the box, each of them have an illustration of this set, which is cool too, because if you wanted to, say, display this like a designated shelf for, let's say, the Glacier one, you could have all your figures lined up, displayed, and you can also still keep the box and kind of put it in the background. And then on the backhand side, it shows us everything that is included within Series 2. Let's crack these open. So I'm just going to go down the line. I'm going to start with the Snowy Glacier pack. So this comes with Galarian Darumaka as well as Piplup. There's a nice illustration of the 2 jumping for joy. Here is the barcode to help you track this down in store. Ooh, look what else was included. A checklist of upcoming figures. Very excited about that Flygon and Luxray. And that's actually a new sculpt of Pikachu. So none of these have hit the States yet, I think just in like Latin America, with the exception of Darumaka, Tyrunt, and Horsey, which come in these environmental packs. Alright, here it is out of the packaging. So this is our first Glacier Snowy Environmental pack. In Series 1, we had a grassy terrain with a tree, we had a cave looking one with Tyrunt and Zubat, and then we also had an underwater one with Horsey. So I'm glad that they're adding new elements and new environments to Series 2, and this one is totally fitting with these Pokemon. So the figures included, I believe Galarian Darumaka has been released once before. I don't remember off the top of my head, but Piplup, this is a reissue. This is the same sculpting that we've had before. One of the things that I think would be awesome for this is to include a new figure in every environmental set. I do like that they're able to include these obscure Pokemon, or maybe like the more uncommon ones like Darumaka, and what's really cool too is that opens up an opportunity. So when these continue into like Series 3 through 7 or whatever, they can create another ice pack, maybe one that's like a little bit more horizontal, and they can include some new characters like a Spheal or a Dugong. I just think there's a lot of potential for that. Let's give these figures a closer look. So they are within our 2-inch scale. So Galarian Darumaka is just under maybe it looks like just at 1.5 inches, and Piplup is measuring about the same. Here is also a close-up of their backsides. You can see there's some more paint applications to Darumaka, and they've done a great job making improvements on these paint applications. I mean, they have been looking spot on. There's been no bleed or like misplacement. When it comes to the set itself, I think they did a great job on this sculpting. I mean, it really looks like snow and ice. The way they achieved that up here is they gave it like a translucent type of plastic. There's also 3 designated areas to place Pokemon. It stands at about 6.5 inches tall, and it is roughly 3.5 inches wide. An area that I really enjoy about these sets is, obviously, you're going to have more than one ice type or water type of Pokemon, so you can place extra figures in here and set this up on your shelving. So again, like I said, this isn't the first time that we have Piplup, so I have 2 of them, and look at that, you can create an entire scene. So I know there's a lot of Piplup fans out there, so if you have more than one figure, you can create like a horde of Piplups just based around this set alone. Overall, I think this set looks awesome. It would be great to have another addition to this, like to add on, again, like a horizontal one, or even if this was the stepping stone into something bigger, and you can create like a half moon type of set. Next up, we have Trapinch and Charmander within the rocky desert terrain, which is very appropriate, especially for Trapinch. And you can see we have a nice illustration of the 2 there. Here is the barcode to help you track this down. Here is the Rocky Desert out of the packaging, and I love this one so much because what I was doing before is I was buying like fish tank or like reptile enclosure type of things, and those added up so quick, whereas this is $15 and you're getting 2 figures and an insanely detailed sculpting of an environment. So that right there is a big win in and out of itself. Not to mention, this environment is very adaptable, so you can place a lot of different type of Pokemon in here. Like the rest of the sets, there is 3 areas to place Pokemon. Now, I put Trapinch on top because I was like, you know what, that one's probably the hardest one to stand, so might as well put it on top, just to show people that Trapinch can fit up there. And I was actually wondering, because, this Pokemon seems like it's going to be pretty top heavy, but they included this little translucent stand. So you can place this on the bottom of Trapinch's foot, and then you can just like kind of maneuver it all around to get it to stand. I do believe this is the second reissue of Charmander, but I think this is the first appearance of Trapinch, which is awesome because I love having new Pokemon and just expanding my decks. These two are also standing at about 1.5 inches. I think it's great that we're getting new sculpts of popular Pokemon. So this Charmander, I think this is going to be the 4th or 5th different type of sculpting that I have of it. And this one's so cool because it's like getting ready to like do Ember or like Scratch or something like that. But Trapinch is definitely my favorite in this set because it's new. And you know, we have Flygon on the way, which means we have to have Vibrava at some point. But I gotta say, Trapinch is the showstopper in this set. The sculpting is spot on. The mouth is opened up and it's hollow. They didn't just sculpt the entire thing and just paint it black. So that was a nice touch. The stand can only be applied to the back left foot. It's just basically a pinhole with a peg and you can maneuver it around, but I found that the best way to do it is just to have Trapinch standing over it. When it comes to the environment, it is also one piece and it stands at about 7 inches also. I like the way that they approached this sculpting. I mean, the different colored rocks, you know, the types of bush throughout. It really does give the appearance that you are in like a desert type of terrain. My only problem is I wish I had more of these. Like I mentioned earlier, I have a lot of Charmander figures. I even have this one with a little holiday cap on. But here is like a little glimpse of what it would look like to have a horde of Charmanders with a few other scattered Pokemon throughout. And just being able to do this brings a big appeal to these sets. I mean, if your favorite Pokemon is Charmander and you have a lot of them, I mean, you can really load this thing up. Our third and final set is going to be the Wild Jungle. It comes with Mankey and Trico, which have been previously released, but are still very fitting for this environment. Okay, I gotta say, I really love this one. I mean, from the start, the sculpting on this is fantastic. And I put Mankey up there in a not so traditional way that this was designed, you know, with the 3 platforms there. I utilized the sculpting on its hand to have it swinging from a mine. But this set is brilliant. I love all the greens and the foliage all over the place. I mean, the vines on top, they really did a great job on this one. The mixture of leaves is also a great balance. I mean, there's not too much that's repeated all over. I mean, there's a lot of character and variety to this. And another reason why I like this is because Bulbasaur is my favorite Pokemon, and I can definitely fill this all with a bunch of Bulbasaurs. As far as height goes, I think it's going to be the same. It looks like, yeah, 6.5 inches. This entire set is a harder type of plastic, but the leaves, the greens, are all softer, which is pretty cool because, you know, you can put some Pokemon around here and, you know, they have some give, so it makes it easier to pose them. But I will point out, this leaf right here is harder, so it's not going to lose its integrity when you place a Pokemon on top. I would like to give you a nice close-up so you can see how much detail that they put within this. I mean, they've really knocked this one out of the park. I really love this one. Here's a closer look at our figures included. So again, these have been previously released, and this is actually my 3rd Trico. Now, I used to think that I would be, you know, kind of bothered by having so many of the same Pokemon, but, you know, with the introduction of hordes and just the abundance of a single Pokemon in one spot, it actually is okay, and I would prefer to have quite a bit of them. Like I said, Bulbasaur is my favorite Pokemon, so of course I had to throw in a few in there, and then also my 3 Tricos as well, since they are typically more fitting for this set. But as it stands, I have 5 figures on this piece alone, which I think is pretty impressive. Alright everyone, that's going to wrap up this review and unboxing of Series 2 environmental packs from Jazwares. The price point is $14.99 and you can find these at Target and Gamestop also. I will be posting all the links in the description below. Honestly, for that price point, this is a big win for us Pokemon collectors, because not only are you getting an environmental set, something that they've sculpted that you can put into your collection and create an entire scene around that piece, but you're also getting 2 Pokemon figures as well. I like the way they structured on which character to put in there. So a starter, a fan favorite, is pretty much a no-brainer, but then the second Pokemon, something that's maybe not quite as popular, but still loved by many, that fits that environment. So combining those 2 together makes these sets a big win. Something else I would love to see in the future is, you know, when we get into Series 5 or whatever, is they make them more horizontal so we can add pieces together and really create a big giant scene. That would be like the ultimate goal for me. So that brings us to 6 environmental packs total. I'd love to know what kind of sets you would like to see in the future, and then what Pokemon you would put in there as well. For me, I've thought about this a little bit, so I think like a lava or magma type of set would be awesome, and you can put in like Torkoal and Slugma. Another one that I would think would be a big one would be a tree with like nests in it. You could put like Hoot Hoot up there, maybe a Noctowl, a few Pidgeys, a Sparrow, whatever. But that is it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful for you. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram to stay up to date when new things drop. I post very heavily on my stories when things go live. I also post toy photography and toy videos, so don't miss out on those. But if you like this video and you want to see more of it, be sure to like and subscribe. It is free. Until then, I will see y'all in the next video.